Welcome to Beyond the Breach. Today's episode is about a subject close to my heart, which is cyber recovery, and why most organisations are seriously overestimating their ability to get that done. In 2021, Colonial Pipeline was hit by ransomware. It was well documented. The company, in that eventuality, did what most organisations plan to do. They attempted to restore their systems from backups. Technically, recovery had then begun, but operationally, they were definitely not ready. Critical billing systems were still very unreliable. Visibility into fuel distribution was incomplete. They couldn't confidently track what was moving through their pipeline. So despite having the ability to restore, they couldn't safely resume business operations. Fuel distribution was halted across large parts of the United States, triggering, amongst other things, panic buying and regional shortages. In the end, they paid the ransom, not because they couldn't restore their data from backups, but because they couldn't restore business confidence. That's the difference. Restoration had started, recovery hadn't happened. After a cyber attack, most organizations ask themselves, how quickly can we restore? It's a logical question, but it's not the one that matters the most, because restoration is definitely not the same as recovery. Here's a reality. Many organizations can restore data. Fewer can restore systems, and almost none can prove that what they've restored is clean, is trusted, and is fully ready for operations. Recovery is often treated as a technical activity. Backups are restored. Systems are powered back on. Applications come online. And at that point, many teams declare success. But the real question is very different. Can the business operate again with confidence? Because if you can't, trust is not what you've restored. You haven't really recovered. You've just restarted risk. Let's go a level deeper. After a cyber attack, particularly ransomware or destructive cyber attacks of any kind, you're dealing with three major unknowns. Firstly, is the data that I'm going to restore clean? Backups may contain dormant malware, corrupted data, or attacker persistence mechanisms. If you restore without validation, you may be reintroducing the very problem you're trying to escape from. Secondly, is identity trusted? If identity systems have been compromised, you don't know which users' credentials or privileges are still valid. That means every restored system is sitting on untrusted foundations. And thirdly, do your systems actually work together now that they're restored? Most recovery plans test individual systems, individual applications. Very few test full business workflows end to end. Can orders be processed? Can customers actually transact with your website? Can employees actually do their jobs? This is where recovery tends to break down. Because recovery is not a collection of restored items. It's a functioning business process. And that's a completely different standard to where most people are right now. A more useful way to think about recovery is as follows. What is your mean time to clean recovery, MTCR? Not just how quickly data is restored, but how quickly the business can return to a trusted, verified, operational state. Clean, trusted, operational. All three matter. If any one of those is missing, and you're not recovered. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most organizations don't measure this. They measure recovery time objectives, RTO, recovery point objectives, RPO. They measure backup success rates. They measure system availability, but they don't measure whether the business can actually run after an incident. And that creates, of course, a very dangerous illusion, because everything looks fine until it's not. until the moment where systems are restored, but nothing works properly, where users can log in, but shouldn't be trusted, where data is available, but is potentially compromised. And that's the gap, and it's a big one. So what should you take away from all of this? Well, firstly, restoration is a technical milestone. Recovery is a business outcome. Do not confuse the two. Secondly, speed of restoration does not equal confidence in recovery. Fast and wrong is a lot worse than slow and certain. And thirdly, you need to design for clean recovery. That means validation, that means isolation, forensics, and controlled reintroduction of systems, not just bulk restoration. Finally, if you haven't proven clean recovery end to end, you don't have recovery. You just have an assumption. And assumptions are exactly what fail during a crisis. In cyber resilience, recovery is often treated as a given. But the organizations that truly survive catastrophic cyber incidents are the ones that can prove it under pressure, at scale, and with confidence through testing. That's the clarity for today. Beyond the breach.